Welcome back, everybody, to Pull Hook Golf, the podcast. I'm your host, Matt Cook. Tonight, we've got an awesome episode for all of you. First of all, President's Cup recap. We're bringing back our Tour Insider for this one, and we're going to go through the real side of the President's Cup. And it's going to be, we're going to get in there in terms of some controversy around that as well. Now, Swannies Style Segment, always a fan favorite. And then we've got the Sanderson Farms preview, which if you don't know many people playing golf in that tournament, there's good reason, because not many people are playing in that golf tournament that most people would know. But it kind of is an opportunity type of golf tournament, and I'm excited to recap that or go over a preview of that. And then we've got LIV Golf. We've got a few updates there. And I kind of relate LIV Golf now to kind of international golf. I don't know how you feel about it.
Sort of. Yeah, sort of.
You know, now that they're kind of opening up the pathways with the DP World Tour, you know, John Rahm was playing there last week. And
is that the pinnacle of international golf? Is that what you're trying to say?
I mean,
like, is that the big leagues of international golf?
I feel like LIV Golf has a better ties to the DP World Tour. I think it has helped the DP World Tour recently with more and more guys playing on DP World Tour events that you normally wouldn't potentially see. And with that said, let's jump into our sponsorship real quick. Swannies Golf, folks. Oh man, I am rocking. I just got this in. If you guys saw my Instagram video, I was really feeling myself this morning. The tags weren't even off yet.
It's dope.
Tags weren't even off yet. We've got the hat, and it is like ASU maroon. I absolutely love it.
I was going to say, show off the inside there that matches up with the
Oh,
polo.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
show off that. Like, that's a thing.
Inside of the vest, it is that maroon color that matches the polo. And this collection that they got right now is incredible. I believe it is called the Stadium Collection. And I even have the Air Jordans to match. Look at that. So, yeah, really doing big things around here. And I will say, make sure to utilize the promo code PullHookGolf25 at checkout for 25% off your entire order at Swannies.co. Trot Golfer threw in. I just saw a comment there. Let's see here. He said he just got his Swanee stuff a few days ago. Trot, you better have used, or I'm sorry, that was Dylan Vodry. My apologies. That you better have used the Pull Hook Golf 25 at checkout. My apologies on that. And let's get into it. So we've got, first of all, a little bit of catching up to do, Buttsy. I feel like I missed you. I was in LA last week.
Yeah.
And I was just like, were you playing golf over the weekend?
I did.
I had some FOMO.
I played on Saturday. We went up to Chaparral Pines, which, you know, it's always special. They did recently punch the greens, though, so like the putting surfaces weren't perfect, but you know how it is rolling around there, bro. It's always a treat.
Oh, my gosh. I absolutely love Chaparral Pines. I saw you were up there, and I was like, okay, is this an older video or is this a new one? I'm like, shit, I need to get back from LA. I was in LA for a podcast event called PodCon and was on the panel and everything, speaking to everybody, getting us some more listeners. So that was always a good thing, and that's where I picked up our new soundboard as well.
Like, you guys, it's next level. PodCon. Is there
PodCon?
Is there a certain type of people that goes to PodCon, and are you one of them? Like is there? You know what I mean? Is it like a thing? It's like not like Comic-Con, you know, like that's obvious.
It was a little bit like Comic-Con, but I had my own booth. I mean, it was nice, yeah. Oh, I should have put up the banner for tonight's show, but that's all right.
That's okay.
And certainly the beach was really, really nice. Thanks, Trot Golfer, because, man, I was out there and just loving life out there in L.A., and it felt good to come back, though, to the 1,000,000-degree heat.
Did it?
It did. I missed you, man, and I feel like it's been a while since we've played golf. We got to get out there at some point in the near future.
Yep.
All right, let's dive into the President's Cup recap, and as we do, we are bringing on none other than Brent Grant. Brent, what's going on, buddy?
There he is.
How we doing, boys?
Oh, we're doing lovely.
Got the stogie lit. Dude.
Oh, he's
Every night,
feeling
Every
it.
night.
Oh yeah. You're getting into a nice little pattern here now with the stogie. What are we drinking over there? Anything good?
Man, I finished up a little glass of cab. Wife went and got some Josh cab or something like that. I
Okay.
can't remember what it was. But we're
A
doing,
gentleman
we're doing
you
a
are.
little Arnie Palmer.
Very nice.
Oh, little Arnie action. Love that for you. Love that for our audience. So here we go. Let's get into the President's Cup recap, which the USA wins 18.5 to 11.5. Now, this puts the U.S. team's record at 13-1-1 for the history of the President's Cup. And I heard on some podcasts, Brett, you were pointing some stuff out that, people were kind of talking about, oh, maybe we should change this. So question to you to start, Brent, does anything need to change with the President's Cup?
Yeah, what do you think?
Well, obviously, there's a few guys from the U.S. team and a few guys from the international team that are not playing. But even when they did play, I think 4 years ago or whatever it was, or even in 2019, it was somewhat close. But even with the aging big cat, they were able to put him away pretty easily. So I wouldn't say there's a lot you could do with the players changing who's on the team, who's not on the team. But it's meant to be a prep for the Ryder Cup. So make it as close to the Ryder Cup as it possibly can. And we'll see if it can be more competitive. But other than that, I'm not really sure what else they could do other than just play better.
I just feel like it was us versus Asia. To be honest with you, that's kind of what I got out of it. Yeah, it was like
And
us
Adam Scott.
and Adam. He was like, and I'm not even like saying.
I love Adam
bad,
Scott.
but-
He's the man. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? I think if it comes down to it, is it really about the world rankings, or is it about the fact that on the first day that 3 out of the 5 matches were 1-up, and then obviously they blew them out the second day, and then I think the morning of the morning of Saturday was pretty close as well. So I don't really see how it's that lopsided. It just seems like a couple of putts go one way or the other, and it's a completely different story.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty solid. That's pretty solid.
That's a take, right?
Yeah.
That's a solid take.
Yeah. So I'm going to tell you right now that the international team, we knew that they weren't going to win, right? We talked about that last week as well. And one thing that I will mention around the international team is it was the best international team, in my opinion, in recent years.
Okay.
And that's where I kind of saw the South Koreans as kind of that dynamic that was going to be fun to watch, that could potentially create some upsets and so forth, and gave the international team a shot, right? I mean, we saw it in the first 2 days when the U.S. goes up 5, wins every single match, and then all of a sudden the international team comes right back the next day and wins 5. So I was entertained. I thought it was very entertaining in a lot of ways. And I just felt like, man, if there's something that could potentially change, I would love to see the LIV guys come back. I'd love to see a Joaquin Neiman in there. I'd love to see a bunch of those guys be a part of that to kind of strengthen up the bottom half of that team. And I think they would have really competed.
For certain. And you also spoke to last week about, like guys like Homa and our stragglers, our loose end, if you will. They played pretty good though.
Yeah.
Like they didn't act like they've had a shitty season.
No.
Yeah, they played pretty solid.
They did.
So
Back to you, Brent. What do you think about adding the LIV Golf guys?
I mean, you look at like a Joaquin Neiman or a Mito Pereira, Cam Smith. I feel like those 3 guys could probably take on at least half the U.S. team and beat them. if it was, as far as ability. The top half is pretty tough just because they're getting more. You got to remember, right? So the LIV Tour guys have a significantly smaller competitive amount of rounds as far as the amount of guys, the amount of time they're playing, all of those different things, kind of factor in. It's similar to like what happened to John Rahm at the Masters this year, right? So you saw kind of a significant lull in his play. But you back it up a year ago, he had won Amex. He competed at Torrey. He was playing great golf going into Augusta, and he won. So I have a hard time thinking that if they remain on the LIV Tour with the way that it is, that they would be able to keep up the level of play necessary to beat the U.S. team.
He did. And who's going to talk back to Jim Furyk?
Nobody.
There you go.
I feel like Furyk might slap somebody.
Yeah.
He's probably got that dog in him.
I've never seen so many golfers use the word dog in 1 week.
There's a lot of people saying that.
Well, the entire U.S. team, they're just a bunch of dogs, right?
No.
Talking about putting helmets on and pads and going to go play some football.
How about Heath Thagala talking about the Mongolian reversal? Had you ever heard the Mongolian reversal before?
Yes, Mongolian sand goggles.
What the fuck is that?
O to O. It's when you go down to O, and then you flip them O to O.
I see.
Folks, this is going to be a special one tonight. Special.
Yeah, all the audio that you could ever desire.
Special is as special does.
Now, so Jim Furyk, we were just talking about it. Is he the best captain in recent years for either the President's Cup or the Ryder Cup? What do you think, Brent?
No, I think the President's team, the way that it was probably one of the least controversial teams that we've ever had. There was no ego in what they were doing. And I think that's kudos to Jim for sure. But it's so difficult to call him one of the best recently because in Paris, for example, we got our ass beat. So it's a completely different situation with regards to Paris and the President's Cup. All right. So, anyways, second stage is at Valencia in Los Angeles.
Holy shit! Are you talking about fucking Q School right now? Have you had a segment on the Korn Ferry and Q School?
Pretty much. I figured, just throw it out there for any and all questions.
I love that. AJ Thilton. Did I Tillotson?
It's good.
I can't even see that right now.
It's good.
Tillotson.
Now it's good. Leave
Tillotson.
it. Let's fucking go.
Love it.
Let's get it.
Let's go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
What did you just say to me?
Come on.
Okay.
All right, let's do it. Back to the real stuff, the stuff that matters.
No, AJ said you're good. You're on a roll. Keep it going. I want to listen. Here we go.
Yeah, so here we go. Valencia and LA, first week of December. Jacksonville's final stage, second week of December.
Okay.
I'm giving it a ride, folks.
Gonna give it a go. The good old college try, so to speak.
Where were we?
We're back to the fucking President's Cup here, people.
Woo! Here we
Fuck
go.
yeah, here we go. Woo! Gosh, should we just? I feel like we should almost start the President's Cup all over again, but we're not. We're definitely not doing it. Definitely not doing it. We're gonna start off with what I threw out there to X. And good old Tom Kim, was he a rat for spilling the beans to the media about the U.S. team swearing at him during the round?
I don't like Tom Kim anymore.
Who's answering that question first? But
I'm gonna start off with Buttsy on
I don't
this
like
one.
him anymore. I didn't get any of the context. I literally looked right at my phone when he went like this with his putter, and then went. I saw that little part. And I was fucking done with Tom.
I hope
Kim.
to God you were looking at the right camera on that one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
fuck.
But I was done after that. I didn't even need to know. Like once he did it twice, and I was like, oh, he's fucking talking about somebody didn't give him that putt, and he's being a little bitch about it right now. Wow. That's what that is. So, anyways, that's my take.
Brent, how about you, bud?
Oh, with Tommy, good old TK, Tom Kim. I actually love Tommy. He's a really cool dude. He is a young guy though, and so we've all done it. We've all thrown a little hissy fit when not getting a shortish putt. But at the same time, you gotta expect a little bit of shit going your way if you're gonna throw that many fist bumps. As a guy, and Buttsy knows, who throws fist bumps all day long, it comes your way, and you got to be able to take it if you're gonna give it. So, he afterwards, obviously, he went and found Jim and went and found Xander and those guys and talked it over. He would have never pulled that if that weren't. If it were in the U.S., he would have never pulled that. So it felt as though he was kind of putting it on a little bit, and he sort of paid for it with obviously the Twitter world and Instagram or whatever, sort of blowing it up. So I don't know.
It was 50-50, by the way, on Twitter X or on X with whether or not Tom Kim was a rat. So I see it as this. I see it as, by the way, I'm with you, Brent. I am a big Tom Kim fan. I love Tom Kim.
Super
love
nice
me
guy.
some little Dicky Tom Kim. Absolutely. Sometimes he asks for the ladies' locker room so he can shower in private.
He looks like he could have, like he was almost a little person.
I mean,
But he's
those
got a
were
hell of
some
a golf swing.
Tight clothes he had on. I mean, he was filling them out.
I mean, it was last President's Cup. How did they not learn from the last President's Cup that Tom Kim needs looser pants? He ripped them, remember, at the last one?
Trying to show
Well,
off that.
Yeah.
I think they were just willing to take that chance.
Yeah, they really wanted to see his thighs in there.
Have you ever seen Brent's pants?
Not anymore.
I have not.
You don't do that anymore?
I don't do that anymore.
God damn.
The old Adidas
Are they
Saran
good?
wrap pants.
This guy used to literally look like somebody like laid plastic on him on a bed and then hit it with a hairdryer before he went to the golf course.
What did we call it? What's that?
Shrink wrap.
Yeah, they use it for the like filling holes or whatever. Billy Mays did it. Man, what the hell was that called?
Oh,
Billy Mays
Flex
Hayes?
Seal.
Flex
Yeah.
Seal. Yes, Flex
Yeah.
Seal. That was
That's
the,
why.
Flex
Yeah, that
Seal.
was your
So,
name.
Wow.
that was Adidas at 185 right there. That was 185-pound Brent Grant there. That was filling.
Look
out
at
some
this. We got the real Kim Jong-un joining us. And
He hasn't been on in a while.
He hasn't. It's good to have you back here,
Annyeonghaseyo.
real Kim Jong-un. And Tom Kim has a wagon, is what he said.
dumper.
That's fantastic news. Now, one of the other things that I have to ask, is he the most exciting player at these President's Cups? Buttsy, we'll start with you again.
Exciting?
Like he's
It
entertaining. Is he not?
I just thought he was fucking annoying. I just found it annoying. Like, and not because I don't like excitement, but the fashion in which he was trying to be exciting annoyed the living piss
What
out
if
of me.
he didn't do the putter thing?
You can't say that because he did, and that led to a bunch of subsequent fuck yous via fist pumps. I thought he was going to throw a foot pump at one point. Like, he threw so many fucking fist
To
pumps.
take his shoe off and throw it?
Yeah, I don't know what he was going to do. Or just, like, lay on the ground and kick the foot in the air. I don't know. Like, maybe that's a new thing
Bicycle
that people
kick?
do when they make putts. Oh, don't. Yeah, you can't go there. But, yeah, no. I don't hate Tom Kim, but for me, it was
he's
just like,
such a
okay,
nice kid.
I'm old now. It's like, all right, fuck, dude.
All right, so here's
Give it a little one of
so
these.
Tiger Woods, fist bumps all the time, like shows his emotion. Probably one of the only, like, real time guys that was like, oh yeah, I made a putt for par from 20 feet on a Thursday. I'm gonna give it a fist pump. Is that annoying?
It's not because he is original. His is original. like acting like that was original and new, and nobody else was doing that. For him, that like he started that, so it's okay. He can fist pump wherever the fuck he wants.
Seve, Gary Player.
I'm gonna say this. I gotta stop you both. Tom Kim is just young.
Very.
Yes,
He will figure out his place within all of this, but he does bring a lot of energy and entertainment. And
That's
I don't
fair.
want to take away from that because I love what he was doing out there. Now, his immaturity showed with the little putter thing because he got a little butt hurt, right? That's just immaturity in my opinion. And that takes away. And then when you can't handle the heat coming back at you with some players potentially saying, yeah, fuck you, Tom Kim. Like it's, you've got to be able to take that if you're going to dish it out like that. And I think that's the part that he needs to grow and learn from, because a lot of people were annoyed with Tom Kim. He kind of was a little bit of a rat. I mean, he was snitching on the U.S. team, and obviously he learned a lesson within doing so, because snitches get stitches.
Well, and then he got
folks.
his ass beat on the
you
golf
said that
course.
before out here. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like when you say that. It's hard.
Yeah.
So here we got Matt Cook as the voice of reason between Buttsy and I. That's not.
No, and
Hey,
he is.
it happens.
He's right too. He
Oh
absolutely.
yeah,
is.
absolutely. We talked about it. We talked about when it happened. He is young. I mean, he's what, 22, 21?
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He's unbelievable at the game of golf, and he's going to continue to be on the PGA Tour for a long time until the LIV decides to offer him a couple $100 million. But it seemed to me that he was just putting it on, man. And Siwoo Kim was kind of feeding off that, and the Prayers champ clearly used.
The prayers.
You're leading us right into the next topic here with the President's Cup, which is South Korea, baby. I mean, was there any better players at the President's Cup in terms of entertainment? I'm not talking about just play, but entertainment wise, than the South Koreans. We'll start with you, Brent.
Man, I personally, my kind of entertainment is yeah, it's fun to watch those guys go crazy, but my kind of entertainment is the guy like Adam Scott, like the real.
Oh, you're a purist.
Yeah, I mean he's always. I mean, he's got the most beautiful swing of all time. He's 44 years old. The oldest guy there. First of all, Adam Scott's an amazing human being, and I've talked to him several times. He's a great guy, but it's more about the fact that when it mattered, he showed up, and it was real. Like none of it was put on. So, and I'm not saying that Sungjae didn't kind of do the same thing. I mean, but it's just the fact
Wait, I
that
mean,
it meant so
Sungjae
much.
absolutely did. Hang on a second. Sungjae, first of all, whipped out Gangnam Style. I mean, when was the last time you heard that
But
song?
that's real, though.
And
That's
he
real.
he was doing it everywhere. I
Yeah.
mean, he was doing it on the first tee. He was doing it in the players' lounge. He was doing it in the parking lot. He was doing it in the bathroom. He was Gangnam Style this weekend, and that was fantastic
But that's
stuff.
real.
I don't know if Adam Scott.
It's not real.
So, Sungjae, no, that's absolutely real. I think the difference
is
between
Sungjae.
Siwoo Kim and Tom Kim and Sungjae M and Adam Scott is those guys were clearly putting it on, and Sungjae and Adam were not. I mean, it was real, and that's. I mean, I guess you could take a third of the South Korean team as hyper entertaining, but I think
Call real.
I think Adam Scott, to me, anyways. I mean, he's more.
He's a
entertaining.
beautiful man.
He
He's
very
a
much
beautiful
is,
man.
yeah. Well, that's just gives him 9 out of 10 points right there.
I mean, I used to see him in person at the Butch Harmon facility when I was training out of there, way back in the day with the young Adam Scott.
He's got to own a vineyard at this point, right?
Yes, he does.
Okay, that makes sense. He looks like a vineyard owner.
He looks like the guy. He looks like the guy that shows up at every party with his own wine, and everybody just goes.
In
Yeah.
a, sw-
All
in a
right.
sweater.
A sweater.
In a
First,
sweater
oh my
draped.
God, I was about to say the same thing.
Kind of like Jason
Oh,
Day.
gosh.
Jason Day had that thing going. He's now
Developing
L.A.
his flavor
Malbon
profile.
Golf. Kind of high
I like
class,
the
right?
Malbon look.
Yeah, shit. I mean, we got totally off topic, but so you don't think Siwoo, being players champ, bro, really has practiced the sleepy time like his idol, he said, Steph Curry?
Man,
I can't imagine him doing it without him saying, "It's sweepy time.
It's
Sweepy
time.
It's time for sweeps."
I players champ, bro.
Oh man! Also super. By the way,
Time for now.
super nice guy. But no, I think he kind of fed into Tom and he got a little overzealous, and Steph did what he does best, which is put it on him. So I mean, he
Oh
told
my
him.
God.
He told
It
him.
was absolutely incredible that he ended up they lost the match afterwards.
Yep.
And I don't think he understood that sleepy time means that you have won.
It's over.
That you put the
He's like,
it's
so
done.
tired. I lost. No, you put him.
He did it like
time to
5
night-night.
times too. He like did it and then went
Yeah.
away, did it and went away. It's just not real, man. It just seems sort of, an act.
It's intentionally extra.
Yes, and that's why it's not entertaining to me.
Correct.
You know what I did love though? I did love Wyndham Clark and Ben On getting into it, because to me, Wyndham Clark is the type of player we need out there that is a bit of an antagonist. He's some people would call him cocky or arrogant. I call him confident and he's not afraid to speak his mind. I love that in athletes in other sports. So why shouldn't we love it in golf?
You've been glazing Wyndham for a while though.
I'm still waiting for him to say hi to me at the gym.
And if it
It
will,
ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna
worry.
happen. So
It'll
was it Wyndham in the press conferences, or was it some? I mean, because to me it felt like Sam Burns was probably more like on course antagonistic to the entire of Canada.
I'm with you 100% on Sam Burns, and he's very outspoken too.
Shout out, is that what it was?
No. You're spot on, but no. Wyndham Clark did the sleepy time after
Did he?
the international team lost that match, and
I didn't see
then
that.
get this. I'm getting ripped by good old Trot Golfer here. You guys can see the comment here.
What did he say?
He's throwing some eggplant
can't see over
emojis
there.
out there.
Wyndham,
Not very
Maddie
kind.
loves
Not
Wyndham.
very
Let's
kind.
just put it
What
that
does
way.
that mean?
I like his game. I really do. But no, he
He
did the
fits
sleepy
the part,
time
too,
and
according to
then
Dan
they got into it. Him and Ben On. So Ben On said something on X. I forget exactly what the quote was, but he said something about, the loudest players or something like that are the ones that don't perform on the golf course. And he was taking a shot at Wyndham, and Wyndham came back and he goes, "At least I had a tee time for this President's Cup."
not
And
to
so
mention-
they went back and forth, and it actually got Ben On to write an apology on X saying that he's going to try to be a better person.
Yeah, not to mention
He's
the fact
fucking-
that one guy has been struggling for his card, and the other one's number 4 in the world.
This valid.
I mean, say what you want about how the PGA Tour covers their players, but I played with Ben On. I played with him at Pebble last year. Phenomenal guy. He and his caddy were great with me. We had a grand old time. But I can tell you, I also played with Victor Hovland that week as well, and there was a significant difference between the two. And I'm not saying Ben On's not a great player; he's a phenomenal player.
Who did you enjoy playing with more?
Oh, good question.
It's tough because they were both very similar, but I enjoyed watching
You're not
Victor.
going to offend.
I enjoyed watching Victor kind of hit it somewhat all over the map and get up and down from absolutely everywhere.
No, I meant personality-wise, like actually interacting with, like who.
Honestly, neither one
I
of
don't
them
give a fuck
were.
what he
They were both quiet guys.
Come on, Brian, give it to us. Give it to us real here. Come on.
No, they
They
were
are both my friends.
No, they're not. They're not both my friends.
I say it to him, he make me go night-night. I don't talk to him no more.
No. It's honestly that's the problem is that I played with Wyndham and Max Homa.
He's really trying to get
And
through this.
I'll get through it. I played with Wyndham and Max Homa in 2019 in the Sony, or 2019 in the Sony, and they were and Wyndham was kicking and screaming the whole time. So he's
gotta
always
love
been an
that.
emotional guy. So the fact that he's gone through what he's gone through, made it to where he made it, has made it, and going to continue to play well. The fact that Ben On took a shot at him shows you how caught up in the moment these players were. and how much more
Which I
mature.
love.
Yeah, no,
I
that's
wish
fine.
this was more on a weekly basis.
Absolutely.
Golf would be more exciting.
Yeah.
With rivalry like that.
Yeah.
Some spice.
But that's the problem.
that's
Is
the
it's
next
not really a
part.
rivalry because one of those guys gets to play in all the elevated events and been on
The other
has
guys,
to earn it.
yeah.
So
Man,
Earn it is a big statement.
it really is. The golf media side of things really feels and seems uncomfortable with players being themselves out on the golf course and having some trash talk and everything. It just seems like the mainstream media just does not like this at all for the game of golf. And I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Like, I love seeing guys get chirpy. Like, it didn't bother me at all. Even when Tom Kim put his putter down, I'm like, here we go. Let's go. Let's get this, right? Yeah. It pumps you up depending on which side you're on. And we
Either
actually
way.
Imagine if Phil and Tiger were real on the golf course during their rivalry years, right? I mean, they were a real rivalry. And like, we heard it through the grapevine that they hated each other, that they were not fans of each other whatsoever. And sure enough, like, you kind of saw it a little bit, but not in a real way out there. And I just feel like the President's Cup, we should see more of the President's Cup style in terms of guys being themselves and really getting a little chirpy out there and, you know, having some emotion out there. Like, I kind of really enjoy it. What do you think?
It should be put on this, like, it should be a part of the post-round press conference. Like, hey, we saw on Twitter earlier, this guy took a shot at you. How do you respond to something like that? And then they have a chance to be like, you know, well, what events did he play in this year? It seems like he's not having a very good year, so let's leave it at that. How about, you know, like, just a little fire, a little action. I'd love to see a real, like, a golf fight.
I think
maybe one of these guys
we have a guy like that in golf. His name is Brooks Koepka. Brooks
That's true.
is, by the way, an absolute killer and can beat anybody on any day and has shown it in the majors. And when he flat out said, I think at the PGA or US Open one year, that basically half the field is obsolete because those guys show up and, you know, they can't hack it emotionally, and then the other half is, you know, and he kind of whittled it down. Did the same math that all of us do at golf tournaments. You know, we're trying to basically make it easier on ourselves mentally.
Are you scared of Brooks Koepka? Would you say?
Well, he's got me by about 40 pounds and about 2 or 3 inches.
Like,
so
physically, like, do you feel like it, like, playing with him? Do you feel any intimidation?
I played with Phil probably 4 or 5 times.
Because I've seen you play. You're fucking good.
Yeah, I've played with some of the best players in the world, but I think the problem is you know, I'm never going to go on Twitter or Instagram and say, "Oh, that guy pissed me off." Like, I don't care enough. I mean,
what does Phil smell like?
Phil smells like he's
like pipe tobacco. I feel.
No, it's more like it's like a cedar wood, like kind of sweet. But it's also got a little bit of like a tingy like car oil smell too. It's a weird thing. You can tell the guy spends a lot of time with his coffee as well, so it's kind of got that going. His $100 bills though, his $100 bills smell amazing because they are fresh out of the bank.
So he smells like a barista covered in cash.
Sort of, yeah, that's exactly right.
Okay, sorry, we can move along. I'm just curious.
Brent, would you want to see more match play out there so that we get more of this type of dynamic?
I think the problem is no matter how we get there with the players or the format, the media is never going to go that far with it. You can get guys like ourselves in the room and have a conversation with Wyndham or Ben or whomever and say, oh, well, you know, what about what this guy said? And they may cover it to a certain extent, but there's always a line that nobody's going to cross. And that's fine.
Yeah, that's why we're here.
That's fine. But again, right, but that's why I said, like, a guy like Adam Scott is more entertaining because it's real. And it's just, you know, realness. That's kind of the whole point of this podcast, right?
Absolutely. Good old authenticity.
You ever watch like NASCAR or racing and like somebody bumps somebody and they literally get out of the car and like
beat the shit out of
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, son of a bitch, fuck. And
they
it doesn't
actually
always come to blows, but
they actually have a rule and Buttsy, you and I have a buddy, we can confirm this, but they have a rule where if there's a fight, nobody can touch the other driver. So if there's two sides, right, there's no like both sides going. It's either both drivers fight or nobody fights.
Cool. It should be like that on tour.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
But like the caddies can't jump in.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be hilarious.
Has there been a fight on tour?
No.
Ever?
They used to take
I think
guys. They used to
it's
take
got
guys.
to
and,
it's
like,
got to change.
Keegan and Miguel almost did.
Well,
Yeah.
that whole thing. I had Pepsi on the bag for a year and a half. He probably told that story about 45 times, just because people would constantly ask him. It wasn't Pepsi. This was people asking him, and it was literally like a few holes building up where Miguel was just kind of being a little bit too interventionist when there was a ruling with Keegan, and Pepsi said,
just a nag.
Pepsi said, hey, man, like, why don't you just go over there? We're dropping right here. The rules officials say. And Miguel just told him to shut up. And then Keegan, who, by the way, again, phenomenal human being, super nice guy, but also not somebody you would fuck with. And he backed up his guy. That's all it was.
All right.
So moving
Interesting.
on.
Where are we at?
Yeah.
Well, hold on. I have a question. I have a question for you, Matt. In your years doing this,
Yeah.
the media, has it shifted, do you feel, over the last decade or so with regards to kind of the realness of their questions, or has it kind of always been kind of a robotic, step by step and kind of scripted kind of thing?
It's all pretty scripted. I mean, they're all trying. It's not like other sports where other sports are always trying to get a headline. With golf, it's like they're trying to give you like the PC, and some of the questions are just so redundant, right? Week in and week out. Like, Rory, how are you fixing your putting this week? Doing the same shit I was last week. It's like those questions over and over and over again. I just feel like the PGA Tours, all the people in the media and so forth around golf could become a lot more real. I think they've become more open in terms of accepting certain players, so to speak. So, I mean, you go back to, remember the media when Tiger came out on tour?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Sure
they
do.
were pretty much against him, and it was a lot of, you can't fist pump out there. I think the tour has grown to a degree with that, to where, yeah, like fist pumps are cool, fist pumps are accepted.
I got a lot of shit,
getting,
by the way, for the whole year about fist bumps.
well,
From
see,
players and
and
caddies. And I mean, Buttsy, you tell the story of Houston. I thought that was quite an interesting story.
Which part?
Well,
Was
the fact that guys that barely even knew me were, taking exception to, I think it was like 4 tournaments in, and they were taking exception of how I was and all that stuff.
Oh, you're talking about like your rep?
Yeah, I mean, I was.
Yeah. No, I think people definitely didn't know what was underneath the surface. I do think you fist pumped in a practice round. That might have been. No, I'm just kidding.
Probably did. If it were for enough money, absolutely.
I fucking would too. I'd be stoked to be like, I'm feeling it this week. Like, I would have knee pump, leg pump, ear pump,
Throughout your back doing it too.
thrown out my whole back pumped. But yeah, no, like whatever. Fuck all that. Who cares?
Well, it's just that idea.
all
I
the
mean,
haters.
just Matt, like you said with Wyndham, right? I mean, the culture behind golf is, oh well, you can't be confident, but you have to be confident in order to be good at the game, but not too like enough. Just these people are who they are. They've got their own brand. Let's show that brand off. Let's show a Wyndham or a Sam Burns and not let it be
Confidence is cool.
Not
Being
let
a
it be
bitch is not
once
cool.
a year thing. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, let's go.
I'll say this. The tour's always had an issue with being the gentleman's game and trying to keep everything in that way where everything's PC, everything is like super polished, and everybody is going to be super polite and everything. And that's where fans especially were kind of duped around the fact that all of a sudden some player is being rude on the golf course because they don't want to sign an autograph, or they don't want to do this, or they don't want to do that because they're having a rough round. And all of a sudden, like, that whole dynamic that the gentleman's game has kind of been scratched away. We've done a good job with kind of removing that and being like, hey, these guys are real dudes out there that are real athletes. It's not like they're sitting there and they're going, oh, let me sip my brandy here. And
they're still
this is gonna
plenty
be
polite.
Oh,
They're
very
still
much so.
plenty gentlemanly.
Well, they have to be in a lot of situations. And listen, like there's a time and place to be polite and whatnot. But when you're in that competitive mode, and this is what I loved about Tiger, and I love hearing things about you, Brent, about giving fist pumps in moments to where like, yeah, it was exciting. You should share some emotion out there and be into what you're actually doing. So I just think that we've got a long ways to go, and it's something that we need to continue to do.
I will say one thing before we move on. The standard of Arnold Palmer is kind of where that comes from, and I think that as Matt takes a bathroom break, I mean that's kind of the whole deal. And by the way, Trot Golfer, yes, Pepsi did hide his Pepsis in my bag and all over the golf course. Those stories are real. Phenomenal guy, and he's done so much.
A lot of Pepsi.
A lot of Pepsi, but he no longer drinks it.
Really?
He the way he tells the story is that he was sitting on the Colorado River and kind of saw a little bit of a sugar belly and kind of didn't want to deal with that anymore. So he it was literally just straight sugar because it was just straight Pepsi, no diet Pepsi.
So what do they call them now? Water?
That's a great question. I think I might be one of the only people that would be able to call him that. So, it's
just because it's that loud. I thought it was supposed to
That
be
might
that loud.
be-
I'm going
that
deaf
might-
over here. The whole
say,
fucking
that
show.
might be where that echo comes
Oh
from.
my god!
The feedback from the microphone is probably.
That's what we were
getting picked
fixing.
up.
Is like,
Yeah.
how am I picking up the audio
So,
from out
but,
here?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Buttsy. I mean, you've been around some great players, some dogs, and you've also been around guys that are totally flat. So, I mean, do you feel like there's a line between what gets it done on the golf course through 72 holes and also being able to balance kind of that way to be, or is most of these guys at the top just kind of boring guys that just, oh wow, beautiful catch.
If that way to be comes from the success that you're having, then sure, it's the negative aspect that I don't like. Right? There's like positive and there's negative. If you're, let's just say, you appear as a cocky asshole because you're doing so good, that's the kind of cocky shit that I like. If you look like a whiny bitch because you're not doing good, that's the side that I'd like to see guys kind of learn to delete
The
from
highs
there.
and lows kind of thing.
Just get rid of the lows because you look like a puss. Like,
Yeah,
just
I
try to
agree.
get rid of that. And you look so much cooler when you never show that. I just think that's me thinking that personally. I think it's way cooler not to show that and only show, the celebration for succeeding at what you're doing.
I think I totally agree. I think that there's obviously humility with everything, but one of the things I struggle with all the time is even on the golf course, kind of being the way I am, like with you on the golf course, where it's just kind of like a complete show off, and being that way because I feel like
I
there's
don't
always
think that.
No, you don't think. What I'm saying is I struggle with kind of being that show off, even though it's kind of I love doing it, I love putting on a show, because I always feel like it's going to come off. Oh, that guy's a cocky prick. Like it's
That's what I thought about you.
it's so
You're not a
difficult.
cocky
Exactly,
prick
right?
if you're
Yeah,
pulling
see?
it off, though.
Yeah, well,
This goes back to what I'm saying.
but people don't think that, right? People exactly. That's what I thought about you. See, that's what I think about myself every morning. So, but yeah, it's one of those things.
Piss
where,
that excellence.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. But if
Fuck
you're pissing excellence and you're a nice guy, is that what's so difficult about that? Like, why do you have to be one
Nothing.
way?
You
or the
need
other?
to drink that piss and then pee it again.
Yeah.
And really make a point.
Yeah. I agree.
Nobody pisses excellent. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how much
We
of that is
double
media
filtered
driven, Matt?
excellence.
How much of that sort of that
A ton
kind
of it.
quieting down of people's personality is so they don't get in trouble with the media?
I mean, that every press conference that these guys are in, they're just trying to get through it, right? It's an obligation that they've got to get through. I would love to see guys go into there. And I think a lot of people were kind of shook when Xander Schauffele was a little bit more real than they had like heard in the past and everything. Especially when he started talking about obligations that he's got to do just so that he can get, PIP money and so forth, and has to do these YouTube influencers and everything. And it's like, whoa, hang on a second. Is this coming from Xander Schauffele? Normally he's super PC about everything. And that's where the media, certainly, there's got to be better questions. There's got to be better setups, but it is driven a lot by the media. And hopefully with over time, we might be able to be a part of that.
You made a really good point right there. And I don't think your average Joe Schmo golf fan realizes that press conference is absolutely an obligation. It is, like you said, they're trying to get through it. Yeah, like they're trying to get through it. They're not looking forward to letting it out at the press conference. They're like, okay, I got to do this fucking press conference.
Jordan Spieth, when he came out on tour, had a ton of media training. His team had done an incredible job with him to train him on just about every single thing that you can answer in a press conference, and it was all scripted.
Yep. I mean, that's the thing, right? I mean, think about these guys, right? Think about who they are, where they come from, and why a guy like a Brooks Koepka or Dustin Johnson or Pat Perez, Cam Smith. I mean, the guys that were leading the tour in what they were doing at the time and decided to go to the LIV Tour. And yeah, there are obligations on the LIV Tour that I'm sure they didn't know about. But is it at all possible that what has happened essentially is the corporate structure has taken over a quote unquote player run tour? And now I just took the integrity program.
It probably happened a long time ago.
It absolutely did. But my point is that, when Tiger was being interviewed by Curtis Strange, and he looked him dead square in the face and go, "You'll learn."
That's the best.
And it's like, that is literally how, like, a non-coached individual, like, he was coached to win. But now you got all these college kids on, like, everything's going to be scripted. And this is kind of what they believe is the best thing for golf. The issue is you have podcasts like this, you have a bunch of companies, you have, millions of people around the world that just simply want to hear what these guys actually think, because it'll actually help them understand what's going on. But there's a separation not only between players and the corporate structure, but there's also a separation from the PGA Tour and the rest of the golf world. And I mean, Brandel Chambly basically said that the PGA Tour is somehow like the higher as far as the golf world is considered, but than the LIV Tour, as if the LIV players aren't doing good things for the game at all. And it's the PGA Tour does not represent the shining example of how golf should be. Like it's ridiculous.
You don't think so?
No, absolutely not. Especially because it's like even how you do course setups. I mean, Saturdays, if you look across the board, are moving days, but they're completely different than what they are Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. The reason is because they want to see birdies. Why are all these golf courses have zero rough and the fairways are firm and the greens are soft enough where these guys can stop it on a dime? It's because they want to see birdies. By the way, I don't. I would rather see somebody, actually play a difficult golf course and do really, really well, which is what these guys did last week. The only reason why they had as many birdies as they did is because it rained a crap load. But that golf course was
more
so
precision
difficult.
and creativity required to get the ball in the hole, right?
Absolutely, and that is one of the oldest courses in all of North America. And that golf course was really, really difficult because of how the rough and how the rough was and how the fairways were. I mean, it just shows that. The whole thing with golf ball, and I'm sure we'll get into that at some point this year. But the golf ball conversation is absolutely ridiculous. But anyways, what do we got next there, Matty? I apologize, I took over the podcast for a second.
There is a question there though that I kind of want to highlight.
Yeah, which one is it?
Just
This
answer that quickly, Brent, because that was pretty run on there.
Brent,
Brent, are you in a different mindset when you tee it up?
and that's from Trot Golfer.
Trot Golfer. I think, yeah, I absolutely. So it all comes down to, when I play my best, it's I'm pretty free, but there's also a part of me that kind of shuts everything down, and I've been struggling with that over like the last 18 months, just kind of putting that part of me aside. and I'll keep it short and simple. There's Jekyll and there's Hyde, and I've unfortunately been a bit too much Jekyll, and I think I think Hyde is growing in frustration with me. So we might see him come out pretty soon.
Tap that motherfucker on the back, dude. Let him know it's time to play.
Be a praise.
Oh, that felt cool saying that. Not
Time-
gonna lie.
time to
Yeah,
play.
it felt pretty cool. Anyways.
Tag him in, huh? Like
How
like
bad
his
does your
shirt
mouth
says.
taste right now?
Oh, it tastes so good.
Okay.
I still can't believe this many people. This is the most we've had on a live stream.
Yeah.
And with that, I can't believe people hung in there with us
Incredible.
throughout all of our
Thank you.
technical difficulties. Unbelievable. Fantastic stuff. I just had to give a shout out to the audience real quick for being on with us here and asking such great questions and, chiming in. So now we've got the Swannies Style segment. We recapped hard that President's Cup, and we got into a little bit around, the realness side to all of this, how media is driving the perception. But when you think about it, before we get into the Swannies Style segment, it just hit me that I'm like, to finish that point around the media driving the perception of these golfers and everything, that's all that the audience sees, right? From watching these guys on TV, hearing them in press conferences. It's like, that was actually when I met Jordan Spieth for the first time, when he was just out on tour, had just won the Masters, and I'm at his place in Dallas. I'm thinking I'm going into a goody two-shoes kid's house, and yet there are beer bottles and cans everywhere. The golf simulator in there had been absolutely beat the crap out of within like a month because he had his UT buddies staying with him and partying all the time. He had a little basketball hoop in the kitchen. Like, we're sitting there shooting the shit, and he was a normal dude talking the shit. And you're just like, dude, you are awesome, man.
He's
like
super
such
cool.
a really cool dude. And that's what I don't think the media plays up enough because of how guarded a lot of this is. So that's just kind of my final thought there on that whole media side of things. And hopefully we get to break through at some point and kind of be that new voice within golf at some of these press conferences and so forth for the PGA Tour or LIV Golf. Swannies Style segment, everybody. So team outfits we're going to be talking about tonight. Which team had the better outfits this week? Team USA or Team INT, a.k.a. the international team?
I was partial to Team USA's outfits. I really was.
You can speak up.
I was partial to Team USA's outfits. Thank you.
Yeah, I struggle a lot with the
Don't make me laugh.
with the kind
Trying to
of
keep a straight face.
the jet black on slightly faded.
Got him with the hell.
Do that again there, Buttsy. I was partial to what? I missed that. I'm sorry. I missed that.
Just how you got closer to the mic, like you just got in trouble. Yes, I would like to just say that.
Thank you.
Oh wow!
I'm sweating now. Fuck.
It's 125 outside and 185 in the studio.
It's very pleasant in here, though.
Oh, it's beautiful in here. 70. It's a nice 74 degrees with a little wind.
These tanning lights are crazy, though.
So,
All right, Brett. So
I'm
sorry. So sorry.
No,
Go
I
ahead.
don't apologize. That
You
was
got
fantastic.
this.
Continue.
Please continue. I mean, Team USA put it on. I think they did a good job of. I will kind of be a little bit confused with the different belt colors that everybody was wearing, but Team International did not do a good job with the all black that they were wearing, and it was tough to see the jet black shirt with the partially faded black.
They look like
pants.
waiters.
Well, that too. I mean, it was tough to see. It was tough to see.
Black on black is a tough look. I'm pulling it off tonight just because.
Yeah, but you got the Dracula going too. Like you got.
Yeah.
But it's not
you gotta mix
faded,
it up.
though. Your black pants aren't
That's the
faded.
thing. You can't. It's tough to match up blacks.
They have to be.
They got to be exact.
Yeah.
It's like
Same
when,
material too.
it's,
Usually.
yeah,
Exactly.
it's like when
Very
David Duval at the Masters wore all navy blue one year. Your favorite golfer, by the way. So we don't want to get into that story.
That can work if they're all the same navy blue.
Yeah, it was Tommy Hilfiger that he was with at the time. I don't remember it because he was. I was just like, oh my god, I want the navy on navy look,
I
and
did
then
it-
you
I
try
did
to
it for
pair that
years.
together.
Yep, it's
I was
fantastic.
having a great night until
Gary
you
Player
said
all
that
black.
fucking asshole's name.
Oh, we don't like David Duval.
By the way, there is a perfect example of how
It is perfect.
because to the media and to the public, he came across as this super polite guy, kind of soft spoken, everything. Buttsy has a run in with the poor guy as a kid, as a little kid.
And
He's
that's you just crossed the line.
But
Across
everybody
the
has
line.
stories
Care how
like that,
bad-
though. I mean, can we
care how
admit
bad your
that everybody has a story? I mean, there are stories about Arnold Palmer. And
Oh,
Mr.
dude,
Well,
for
that-
sure.
There's a saying out there that you never want to meet your heroes.
Right. I was just gonna say, if you're somebody's hero, you need to take the responsibility that
So,
that's possible and be able to vet the situation.
So I'll
Not
tell my
shit on somebody.
I'll tell my
Fuck
Rory
him.
story real fast, real super fast. And Tommy Fleetwood can back this up, who, by the way, is a phenomenal guy across the board at any point in time, playing or not playing. But
Any point.
At any point, I idolized Rory for years. I tried to hit the same high draw, same kind of high chest walk, kind of the whole nine. Because it just obviously he was dominating for years and years. And I met him at I think it was the Wells Fargo last year, and we were both in registration. And I made a joke to kind of break the ice with everybody in the room. And I said, "Oh, everybody straighten up. The boss is in." And everybody kind of chuckled. I took my hat off. I said, "Hi, Rory. How you doing? My name's Brent. Nice to meet you." And he goes, "Okay, cool," and bounced. So that's kind of the thing where, and to contrast that, right? And we're in registration, right? Like we're in registration at an elevated event. So I've got just as much of a right to be there as he does, right?
Oh
I earned
yeah,
my way
that's
in there.
fun.
Like it's literally the one moment that I think I probably could have with a player where I'm like when I met Pat Perez, super cool when I met him in registration, even though weeks earlier he said I don't want any Korn Ferry Tour hangarounds to our illustrious land buffalo there, but I
heard that story last week.
The bottom
after
line
we were off
is,
air.
oh yeah, it's real.
It's so good.
Shout out to Pat Perez, by the way. So
It's never coming on now.
Nope.
I
But
think he ever was.
but no, probably not.
bad.
But I told that story to Fleetwood, and he said, when I make it big, I'll probably blow you off too, and I was like,
you?
blow you off, like, literally blow you-
Wait. Hang on. Let's go back to this. So Tommy Fleetwood said to you that he will blow you off. I just want to make sure that
as in do the same thing to me that Rory did.
Oh,
Okay, not blow me off.
Yeah.
Not blow me off.
Well,
Just
That's
it
still a
just
term in
there.
2024.
didn't sound
guys.
right. Just didn't sound right.
In other words, be a tool.
same thing. I was thinking.
You guys kill me. I left that door open. I apologize, guys. I'll slam it shut next time. But I introduced myself
Is that
to
what
Tommy.
you told
Slam
Tommy?
it shut.
Jesus.
What?
What are we doing here, guys?
What are you
talking about?
saying
What are we
over
talking
there,
about?
Brent?
All right, here we go.
We don't even know you anymore.
Tommy, I will slam it shut.
What?
Oh, fuck. Motherfucker.
First
Anyways,
Tommy will
moving
blow
on.
him off, and then he'll
Moving on.
slam him shut. Jeez,
Moving on.
what kind of podcast is this? I didn't know we were on the grinder
son of a
version of
bitch.
OnlyFans.
Here we
Jesus.
go. We're not. Oh fuck.
Please continue.
Anyways,
Feel free to carry on.
I'll carry on quickly. I introduced myself to Tommy, and shout out to Tommy.
You'll
He
carry
said to me-
on quickly?
Wait, what does it even mean?
So, anyways, I
one knows
introduced
what it
myself to
means.
Tommy. That's what makes it great. I introduced myself to Tommy, and he said, "Yes, I know who you are. You've got more people watching you than you think."
You got people watching too?
Yes, people watching
Oh,
me slam it
man.
shut on Tommy Fleetwood. Exactly right.
Can you believe this?
Anyways,
Quickly.
quickly carried it on very quickly.
Oh no.
Anyways, back to reality here. The best player what does that say? Which player had the
What's
best
the next? Where are we
style
going with this?
moment? What are we?
Oh, hang on a second. I haven't even answered the Team USA versus Team International.
That's where we were.
Whoa! Answered Team USA versus. Whoa! Slow it down. Okay, let's
Come
get
on,
back
Tommy.
We're reeling it back. We're reeling it
okay.
back.
We're back
I mean,
to
we got.
real.
Wait, how did the
vocabulary.
Tommy Fleetwood story end?
The
Happy?
contrast between Tommy Fleetwood, world superstar, and Rory McIlroy's world superstar is one of those guys said, "Yes, I know who you are. You've got more people watching you than you think." And Rory McIlroy absolutely just fucking passed me on by.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm glad we got to the bottom of that.
A real heartfelt story there, guys. Absolutely blown up by Buttsy and his 9-year-old sense of humor. Where
Listen,
are we at?
I was on the same page. As soon as you said blow me on.
Yeah, it sounds like it was actually pretty heartless.
Jeez.
Yeah, totally.
All right. Poor Brent Grant and Rory.
Jesus.
And Tommy Fleetwood.
Yeah.
Hell of a threesome. Now, Swannies Style Segment, getting right back to it. We've got, first of all, so Butsy's Team USA, your Team USA. I would say if the blacks had matched, which just doesn't sound right either. Yeah, that just doesn't sound right.
What the fuck is going on here?
If the clothing had matched to the identical color of the colored black, then the international team would have won this week in terms of the outfits, in my opinion. So that's all I got on that one. Let's move it on. Let's move it along.
Now we're gonna move on.
Which player had the better style moment? Max Homa chugging a Budweiser or Xander Schauffele with the cigar?
I mean,
coming from a guy with a cigar, I'm going with you first, Brent.
How do you not absolutely go with Xander Schauffele and the cigar? I mean, that was, first of all, good out there, Buttsy. But yeah, Xander and his cigar. Although, did we pick up on Mackenzie Hughes chugging a beer on the first day at like 7 a.m? That's incredible.
I wrote a tweet immediately as I saw that, and I'm like, God, I wish he was actually playing. That would have made it that much better. If he got on the first tee, chugged a beer, and then teed it up.
Is that not allowed?
To drink while playing?
Probably frowned upon.
It's got to be like that's an actual rule, though.
It is a rule, right? Yes.
Okay.
So actually, I have a question for both of you because we kind of glossed over this. Because I mean, the media love to kind of throw him under the bus. But did Mike Weir make a mistake on day 3?
In what regard?
Well,
Minwoo?
No. I mean, literally half his team. The entire squad from the morning played the afternoon. I mean, there was some issue there. Do we feel like he made a mistake?
No,
they just didn't get it done.
Yeah.
Do you feel like he made it?
Yeah,
I do.
Sorry.
Do you think that they were tired?
Oh, absolutely. You could tell. I mean, the fact that they were going into singles the way they went into it, and you could tell Tom and Siwoo and several of the players were clearly gassed. Although you would have never known Corey Connors was gassed, or never even known Corey Connors was playing because you only saw 2 shots of his the entire time, and he absolutely waxed Tony Finau. Absolutely waxed. But anyways. That was my
good point.
That was my little asterisk note that I felt that was in there. But anyways, back
part
to
of Tony Finau did he wax? You think?
Oh no,
his back.
Oh no. Buttsy, how about you? Max Homa chugging a Budweiser or Xander Schauffele with a cigar? Which one's cooler?
I mean, I like
as Jay
beers.
Monahan was speaking. By the way,
I like the beer chug personally. I think, and Max Homa looks like he does that frequently.
I'm the tiebreaker here. This is
what
unbelievable.
Are you going with?
Unbelievable. Gosh.
Go ahead.
Brent really had a great argument about the cigar. What's cooler than that? Max Homa chugging a Bud. I had Bud heavy too, as I saw it. So I'm sorry, Brent. I hate to go against you on that one.
It's more bold.
Listen, it's like the kid in school doing something he shouldn't. It was the timing for me.
And here's a small aside also with the media. This is hilarious. They glorify Xander's cigar smoking, but you better bet if somebody had lit up a dart, that's not making fucking TV.
No.
Which is crazy. You can literally smoke 100 cigarettes rolled into one with no filter
I almost kill myself.
But if
with
you
the
smoke
cigar.
we
little-
talking about no filter right
Oh,
now?
That's what a
geez. Here we
cigar
go.
is.
This is an unfiltered golf podcast.
Here we go. Are we gonna get it? Are we gonna get into the benefits of a cigar versus a cigarette here?
No, well, there's no benefits. You know, it's good for gout, I guess.
I
They found
mean,
out, but-
you know, it's not like. I mean, we'll save that for a different segment.
Yeah, I'm just saying they don't show. My whole point was they're never going to show a cigarette being smoked if it's not Charlie Hull, and the cigar is cool.
Yeah,
Just
Yeah.
crazy. It's a double
it is.
standard.
Well,
because she's
it's also
pretty.
a thing. It's also a thing that Xander does, right? Because he did it at the Olympics and
Yeah, he's
Ryder
like,
Cup
yeah,
and
yeah.
President's Cup. Yeah, I mean, it's a
When are you
thing.
going to start smoking inside like a real man?
I do, except for the fact
Marlboros.
that I've got my 4-month-old son in there, so that probably wouldn't be the best thing to do.
Start them young.
So, 5 months he'll be smoking. Nice, nice Cubans.
It's kind of like a Swisher Sweet.
I'll start him on the
Anyways.
pipe. On the pipe, it's easier to manage.
On the what?
The pipe.
Jesus. Tobacco smoked pipe.
Yeah, tobacco pipe.
Yeah, of course.
Hey,
Yeah.
everything's. This has been happening to men since the beginning of time. When it goes that way,
Yeah, it's
After
gone.
that-
It's gone.
How many
it's-
viewers
yeah.
dropped off after that initial?
We've actually
we have,
gained
like,
3 more.
Three more.
Oh my god! Fuck. Oh, we're all so fucked. Here we go.
Yeah. So, anyways, that was the Swannies Style segment. Now we've got the Sanderson Farms Championship preview.
The what?
The Tournament of Opportunity, folks.
The what?
The Land of Opportunity. The Sanderson Farms Championship.
What's that? I'm sorry. Is that a PGA Tour event? You couldn't.
Apparently.
You can't tell on golfchannel.com because there's no link
There's
for
nothing about
There's
it.
nothing about it. So
It's unbelievable. And this is a great golf club. Donald Ross designed back
Phenomenal
in 1914. It was redesigned in 2008 by John Fout. Footy. This is a bomber's golf course. So the fairways average 30 yards wide.
Holy shit!
that's yeah. I mean it's. I
So
played it.
bomb it.
I played it twice, and you can't get away with the bomb and gouge out there though. You can
insight.
in a way if that's where we're going. If we're getting back to real golf conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're clear on that. Okay, cool. You can absolutely get away with it if you drive it pretty straight. But Mackenzie Hughes has won that golf tournament, and he's definitely not a bomber. He hits it very, very straight and hits it far enough. But really, it comes down to a putting contest, and Luke List was able to win that, I believe, last year, and he did it because he I think he was number 1 putting that week, even though he does. I mean, he flat kills the golf ball. But his putting is what really brought that home.
Love that. That's a good insider right there, you know?
Great
Somebody
golf
who's
course, by the way.
yeah, somebody
Because we're
who's
thinking,
been out there.
vomit. Where-
Yeah,
said
because
no.
when you see 30 yards wide fairways, you kind of think, all right, bomb and gouge, baby, here we come.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
30 yards seems like a lot, but there are a lot of bunkers and a lot of. I mean, it's not a super long golf course. I mean, there's a couple of holes where being super long is helpful, but the way the wind blows, it's tough to get around there if you're not hitting it straight. I'll put it that way.
Donald Ross, baby. Donald Ross. That's all I got to say. Now, as this is the opportunity tournament, what I mean by this, folks, is that not a lot of players in the top 50 are playing. Okay? There's only 3 players, to be exact, that are in the top 50 that are playing this week. Let's go over a little bit of field analysis and betting odds here. Buttsy loves it when I put in the betting odds into the show notes.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your input. Now,
Say that a little closer.
he did it. He moved the mic up. He made sure that he was
Real
heard.
close. Okay.
Well, I'm having
It was
snacks.
real good.
So
people
I
make
will
sure.
preface before we get into this. I cannot mention anything with regards to who to bet on and who not to bet on.
No.
So this is
Okay.
between you two.
Good to know on that. So here we go. The field this week: Nick Dunlap, Keith Mitchell. Those guys are plus 2,200. Those are your favorites. Okay, good old Cashmere Keith. Seamus Power. Oh, I almost called him Seaman Power. Swear to God, it almost happened.
Oh my God.
We could start calling him that.
Oh, good old Seaman Power, baby.
Sea Moose Power.
Dude. Oh, good old Seaman Power. Here he comes.
Big ocean guy.
He's a big guy too. That's what's funny about it.
Loves the ocean. Hell of a seaman.
Great swimmer. Great swimmer, that Seaman Power.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
6-year stint in the U.S. Navy.
Irish. He's Irish. He's Irish. Irish Navy.
oh,
Loved
man.
it so much he changed his name.
To Seaman Power. Now,
Anyways.
Maverick McNeely is also there with him. Mackenzie Hughes is there, plus 2,500, everybody.
How
plus
is that guy playing? Why is he playing?
That's the thing. He chugged a beer on the first tee of the President's Cup. Who knows why he's playing?
Where does he sit on the FedEx Cup? Is he outside?
Not in the top 50. Yeah. So
Is
Is Seth playing?
he's playing to be in that swing, that little next gen swing thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing.
Okay.
Is Straka playing?
Huh?
I don't know.
Sep
Sep
straight-
Straka?
Aeon. The Aeon Next is what it is. The Aeon Next
the
10.
Aeon Next
Yeah.
10. Mm.
What the hell did they sell an advertiser for this for? I don't understand.
So I actually played with two guys in Jacksonville last year that were a part of that crew, like pretty high up in Aeon, and they explained to me that the amount of money that they're putting in is quite a lot. So I believe they just simply paid for it, and so the tour just said, "Okay, we'll do it."
Yeah, Tour's like, yeah, we'll take your money. We'll name it after that. So very interesting how that went down. Now, Ben Griffin and Jonathan Vegas, plus 3,000. Patrick Rogers and JJ Spahn, plus 3,300. We got Steven Jägermeister himself, Patrick Fishburne. I don't know who the hell he is.
Who is that?
Eric
Phenomenal
Cole.
golfer from Utah.
Yeah, I really don't know
Hits
who
it
he is.
really
That's
far.
I actually haven't even heard his name before. It's never been on the podcast before. So, Patrick, welcome to your first acknowledgement on the Pull Hook Golf Podcast.
Big.
We got Eric Cole, plus 3,500. Adams Fenson, good old Sevy. We've got Chan Kim, plus 4,000. And Taylor Moore, plus 4,500. That rounds out, I believe that's the top 15 for the betting odds there. Anything you want to chime in around that field with some of those names that we just mentioned there?
Yeah,
Brent?
I mean, obviously, with only 3 players in the top 50. I mean, the problem is they're still playing for, I think, $1 million, and they're still playing for 2-year exemptions. They're still playing for Masters invites and all that other stuff.
Don't forget that Aeon top 10.
Not to mention the next 10. So, I mean,
You're saying Aeon?
Aeon, Oon,
AON.
Aeon.
Aeon.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know. They're a technology company, but
That explains it.
That paid a lot of money for that.
they absolutely did for us to mispronounce the name of their company. But yeah, no, I think aside from the betting odds, I mean, just looking at what's at stake, these kind of tournaments, just like Napa with Pat and Kazire, aren't going to get the coverage that they deserve. There's going to be a lot of guys that play well that absolutely change their life with a good finish here, but
You don't know who that's going to be, though?
No, I really don't. And not only have I been completely off watching golf aside from the President's Cup, but you don't really hear anything anymore with regards to what's happening because a lot of these guys haven't played but one tournament in the last 2 months. So,
Fair.
That's my biggest issue with LIV Golf. Tough to tell who's actually got their game in shape month to month because of how many breaks go on with it. But that being said, yeah, it's been a hot topic. Now, Buttsy, who's your pick for the week?
Seaman Power.
I knew you were going to go with good old Seaman Power. After talking to Brent a little bit about this golf course, I didn't have Seaman Power as my pick. I actually was going to go with more of a bomber, but now I'm going to go with somebody that was the rookie of the year last year in Eric Cole.
Ooh.
EC's the man. He's phenomenal.
Why do you think that?
Because he's got such a solid game, and I feel like he's due to break through at some point. And this is a good golf course, being a Donald Ross design. And you're right, Donald Ross always, you have to be able to function well on tough greens. And I think that will be where Eric Cole's going to shine a little bit. I don't know.
Ooh, that's tough. It's tough to pick.
You have not been off many times over this last year. You've been close.
He was off last week
been
in
in
the
the-
President's Cup. He said it would only be 2 points.
Did you say that?
He said 2 points.
Yeah.
You said it was going to be within 2 points?
I was off on that.
I said midway through Sunday. it would
Hang
be
on.
over.
I did add a caveat to that, though. I said, if,
Prayers chant.
for instance, if Max Homa, Brian Harmon, and Sam Burns play well, it'll be a bigger gap than that. And sure enough,
You did say
Blood
Max
bath.
Homa and Sam Burns played
Although,
really well.
was there only
Brian
one-
Harmon didn't play great.
Was there only one play? I think Sam Burns was the only player to go undefeated. Right?
You could be right.
I think I've got that in a little asterisk in my little notebook. But back to what's the tournament called again? I'm sorry. It's such a B tour event according to the PGA Tour. So
The Sanderson Farms
Farms Championship. Phenomenal tournament director, by the way. Nick Dunlap gets it done this
Old
week.
tournament, though.
It's very old. Yeah, it might be the
You
last
think
year.
Dunlap?
I think Nick Dunlap gets it done. He's obviously had a phenomenal year. One of the first amateurs to win, I think, since Phil back in like '96 or '95 when he won the Phoenix Open. So I mean, he won twice this year. I'm not sure why he's playing in the event. I think he got inside the top 50. So, but they probably paid him to show up. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough to vote against Nick Dunlap. I mean,
You feel like he has the right kind of tool for the job?
Oh,
yeah.
very personal question.
Is that on your? Is that what's on your mind? Tools
God
for the
damn,
job.
I really tried to. Like, I was like, I had that in my head. I was like, you can say it, and you can keep a straight face when you do this.
You did. You
No,
did.
this is straight 8-year-old.
Lost
Yeah.
it.
Sorry.
Lost it.
Nick
Go on.
Dunlap's got. He has everything he needs to continue his phenomenal year on the PGA Tour. And at 20, I think he's not even. Is he 21 yet? I mean, he's 21 maybe. I mean, it's pretty incredible what he's been able to do. So, I think
So good.
Nick gets it done.
So incredible. Fantastic stuff there.
That
All
was
right.
good.
Let's get into our final segment of the evening. The marathon episode continues. We've got LIV Golf updates here, folks. And John Rahm, we're just going to give a little shout out. Congrats, John, on having another child, which really makes up for coming in second after a playoff loss to none other than Angel Hidalgo.
Who?
Right.
exactly.
I don't know either. That sounds like somebody that took over a country like 200 years ago.
That name Angel is clearly a Spanish man.
Yeah, he was.
Congrats
Spaniard.
to John. I'm super happy for him. He's a phenomenal human being, and super happy for him and his family. Well,
Good dude. We share a barber. So
he's the best.
that's my connection to John Rahm. Now, PGA Tour and PIF is going to be meeting, which is always a LIV Golf topic, right? And this is happening over in Scotland at the Alfred Dunhill Cup. Jay Monahan, he's going to be actually teeing it up in the event with Yasir al-Rumayyan.
Really?
Yeah.
Do we get coverage of that?
I don't know. I hope so. Watch
Yeah,
on Wednesday.
absolutely.
Watch on Wednesday.
Lord,
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Tomorrow.
Does Jay have to dress in the local?
Actually, it might
garb?
be tonight that we're able to watch this.
Because of
Yeah.
because of the
3
time.
a.m.
Because it's over in. Yeah, perfect. Watch the facial expressions, folks, between the two of them. Now, what most people don't understand or know is that there was a special third party bringing them together for this. And he's really pushing for the merger. His name is Johan Rupert.
Oh,
Okay. He's the chairman of Richmond, and he
Right, come on.
oversees. Oh, come on. Hey, come on, come on. So he oversees iconic brands like Cartier and Montblanc.
Mont Blanc. That is how you say
It's
that.
pronounced
also-
Cartier and Mont Blanc, but it's fine.
Exactly.
You'll get it.
I'll get there someday. Someday I will have the educational ability to do that. Now, that being said, he's also worth a fuck ton at $14.3 billion. And he loves the game of
Actual
golf.
metric.
Yeah. A fuck ton is
broke
a
as fuck.
metric. It's a little bit bigger than a trillion. No, so he's at $14.3 billion for his net worth. And here's the thing. They're going to be meeting per his request, but guess who's also going to be in the room? Now, when you got a bunch of BSDs in a room,
His micro penis.
and all of a sudden, CEO, poor Guy Kinnings getting in there. You think Guy Kinnings sits down and is just like pinky dick out there?
Yeah.
With just like, hey guys, I'm DP World Tour.
He gets told
And
what
he's
to
like,
do.
I'm just going to, yeah. I feel so bad for the poor guy. He's going in there with two big swinging
Big old
dicks.
shower monster.
Can we? I mean, so let's focus. I mean, we've got 4 guys in a room. We've got 4 guys in the room. You got Jay Monahan, who couldn't
Jason
be
Giambi.
He couldn't be less popular in the world of golf. You got Yasir that clearly, he's rich. I mean, that doesn't even cover it for a lot of those guys. But and then you've got Johan Rupert. I mean, at a certain point, there are meetings with these kind of people where they talk or they get talked to, but the only people that decide are these people. Like they don't get told. They don't get told what to do. They either get informed and they make a decision, or they inform people and tell them what to do. I mean, a guy like Jay and a guy like Guy, I mean, I'm sure they're perfectly nice human beings, but these guys, these guys.
I would
don't
say
have
that
a lot of
Jay
power.
probably has a couple corporate overlords.
Oh,
right?
he's got very nice. He used to have a few that have since decided to resign, but that's all fine. It's not like those people really did anything. That's sarcasm for the normal world there, by the way. But yeah,
What the fuck did I miss?
no, I'm offloading a little bit of
caboodle.
a little bit of emotion when it comes to these meetings. Because,
No.
it's pretty clear that this thing going on over a year and a half now is because they just whoa, all right, coming off the top, Trotty. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, I just think at the end of the day, these guys.
Oh God.
These guys have no chance of getting anything together until Jay apologizes and says, you know what, we're sorry for making a commercial that pointed out that or made a statement as if you guys were the cause of 9/11 and all these other things that the Golf Channel and all these other news outlets put out during the PGA versus LIV. And the only way it gets done is if Jay kowtows and says, you know what, yep, you guys can all come back, and that'll be all there is to it. I do have just a little bit of insider knowledge though, and I'm able to share this.
Ooh, hang on a second. Breaking news
PGA
from our
Tour-
Tour Insider.
The PGA
What?
Tour board and PAC are currently discussing field restrictions. I don't have any details with regards to the number or who they're going to cut out or how many tournaments will be left, because this is all kind of a developing thing. But maybe in the next 2 to 3 months, there may be a decision where there will be far less players playing regularly on the PGA Tour, which means more big names are going to be falling down on the Korn Ferry Tour. And essentially, the PGA Tour will become kind of as close to a good old boys club as you could possibly have it, being almost impossible to get in unless you
Elitist. It'll be elitist.
Oh,
Yep.
Elitist.
So we'll see. It's up for approval by a board that is run by players that have never seen, aside from maybe 1 or 2 of them, that have never seen the other side of the game. So we'll see what those
That's
guys
very
have to
interesting.
say. Yeah.
that really is, right?
Yeah.
A large portion of the membership would not be happy with that. So
Yeah.
but the board makes those decisions and not the players. So
They sure do. They sure do. Hopefully Camillo can,
well, he was just he was a fill-in. So Rory has apparently stepped back a little bit into some sort of role, and Jordan, Tiger,
Rory's in the negotiation
Sorry,
team.
did you say Camilo?
Camillo
Camillo
Veg
Villegas.
Vegas?
Phenomenal.
Camillo Villegas.
Phenomenal
Is he?
human being. Oh, he's great.
Oh, he's awesome. His story is so sad.
Yeah, I was there.
I don't even want to get into that.
Let's not.
I was there
Let's not
yesterday.
do that. Let's put that in a sack.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that. Phenomenal human being and has done a wonderful job.
What
turning
happened?
Around. Well, we could talk about it briefly. Just
No,
to shout
no,
out Camillo, but
Let's save that.
he's phenomenal. He went through a terrible tragedy, but he battled back. and
Oh, that's
he's
Lost a
incredible.
kid.
He did.
okay.
Yeah, and was back playing weeks later in Bahamas, and we had a little moment. And but he's a phenomenal human being. And
What kind of little moment?
I just put my hand on his shoulders and just kind of shook my head, and there was nothing to say because you can't. And me being a father now, I can't even imagine. So, it was. He's pretty incredible. But yeah, I'm not even going to begin to acknowledge that one, Maddie. But yeah, so we'll see what happens at this meeting. The Department of Justice will always have the final say. So we'll see what happens.
So that's what my insiders have told me, that a lot of this is being stalled out because of the U.S. Senate subcommittee, and we shall see. I think it's the closest. If it doesn't happen after this, I think it's going to be tough for this to get done.
It's like now or nothing, you're saying?
I do. I feel like they've got momentum. They're going to be meeting in the same room. They just had the meeting on 9/11 in New York City. So hopefully they were able to figure out something at the birthplace of golf at St. Andrews. Because I think for the fan, everybody wants at some point for this to come together. Absolutely. Even haters like anti-LIV, for instance, who doesn't like LIV Golf, but I think he would like to see PGA Tour players beating up on LIV golfers and have that dynamic. And I think that could add to a little bit of that entertainment factor that we've been talking about with rivalries and everything like that. I think they can play to that a little bit.
Just popped up on my ticker here. ESPN, PGA Tour Commissioner, and Saudi Arabia's financial backer paired to Pro-Am event in Scotland.
There you go. You heard it here before you heard it on there.
did.
Yeah, right.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I have a question for the both of you. Do you think that the kind of what the tour is going to decide has to do with the LIV Tour players coming back? I mean, because obviously we're talking about a dozen, maybe 16 guys total coming back, and I mean these guys all have said that they don't want to see 54 events or however many we have. I mean there's a lot of things that could happen with these guys coming back. I mean that could change the entire landscape.
That's going to be another episode. So as soon as this gets announced, if it does, that is going to be an episode that we are going to dive into, and we're going to have a field day with speculation around that.
Love it.
So we're going to save that one for a little bit. But just to kind of wrap things up here, we do have, by the way, as we're talking about this Pro-Am, possibly the best golf tournament outside of the President's Cup lately that we're going to see this fall is the Alfred Dunhill Cup. Yeah, I mean, that too. We're going to be paying close attention to that. We're going to have somebody on the inside telling us how that is and, what his mindset is going into that final round at Q School. So that's going to be fun when that comes up. Now, that being said, the Alfred Dunhill Cup at St. Andrews, this is the DP World Tour event, but this is a star-studded field when it comes to the golf world. We've got Rory McIlroy playing. John Rahm is still listed as he's playing, even though he just had a kid. I wonder if he's going to fly over there or not.
He's
Big
probably
decision
in that
there.
group with Jay and Yasir.
I would not be surprised. You got Brooks Koepka is going to be playing. You got Louis Oosthuizen, Patrick Reed, Robert McIntyre, good old Bobby Mack, David Puig, or Poog. It's Poog. It's Poog. Poog. Eugenio Shakara, Billy Horschel, who is Trot Golfer's favorite golfer, Tommy Fleetwood, Terrell Hatton or Tyrell. Good old Tyrell. It's Terrell, folks. Nikolai and Rasmus Højgaard, the twin brothers, Thriston Lawrence,
Underrated.
Mathieu Pavon, and many more. So if you want to be up at 3 a.m. in the morning, this is the golf tournament for you if you're on the West Coast.
Fuck yeah.
So if you're just ripping some rails, make sure to go ahead and watch some Golf Channel this week.
Oh my God.
That was very abrasive.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I mean?
No.
I'm even starting to sweat now. That's fucking funny.
How uncomfortable you made the young man. God.
There are just so many things I could have said there. I'm not gonna say. I've spoken enough.
I don't even. Do we even get into predictions around this damn thing?
Nah.
I mean, does it even? I mean, here's a question for you: if, let's say, any of the top players win, does it even really matter? Does it? I mean,
no.
So what happens if Rory wins another DP World event, and then he's crowned the champion of the race to Dubai right then and there? He's already got I don't even know what his lead is. I mean, the DP World Tour is just, it seems to be.
I'm going to reframe this question for you. If a bear shits in the woods and nobody's there, does it smell?
There you go.
Probably not.
Go. Well, that's why the
Probably not.
Korn Ferry Tour seems to be just an afterthought, even though it's probably the most competitive tour in the world.
It is. Those numbers that you guys shoot out there are insane.
Yeah.
I mean, so hang on a second. I want to dig a little bit deeper into this really quick. In your opinion, is it just that guys just go flag hunting all day long and say, fuck it, if I'm going to end up short-sighted and screwed, it's just the end of the golf tournament?
The thing is, the golf courses are much easier.
Okay.
So it's not as though, but the difference is in the argument.
You've said that before. Yeah.
We always say, and it's true. I mean, I shot 16 under like 4 times in a row, and for 4 days, and finished like 35th every week. So it's like at a certain point, it's like you have to shoot 6 under or better almost every round. So now to say that if a John Rahm or Rory McIlroy were out there, would they win by 10 every week? No, they wouldn't. Because it's not like we're shots worse than those guys. I mean, obviously, they're incredible players. I'm not going to take anything away from them. But the reason why I believe it's the most competitive tour in the world is because you have to do it. Like, if the tournament winner was 10 under and you could get away with making a couple of bogeys here and there or whatever, you can't do that on the Korn Ferry Tour 85, 90% of the time. You have to shoot 6, 7, 8 under every round, which means flawless golf.
Flawless, for sure.
So
you got to play flawlessly. And I just want to say that I'm going to give a shout out to Trot Golfer. He's going with Alphabet this week.
Happy Band Rat.
Say that again.
Alphabet Barn Rat.
Happy Band Rat.
Wait,
Happy Band Rat.
It sounds like you're insulting somebody.
Appetizing barn rat.
Happy Band Rat.
But yeah. Barn rat.
Pure deck.
What an happy band rap he is.
Is he still vaping?
Oh, absolutely.
He was a vapor.
I thought his name was Alphabet.
Don't blow the mic.
What was that?
That's the vape.
That's a vape.
You've got
Barn
one right
rat's
there.
Vape juice. Yeah, that's not a real one. He fucking rips sick
He's got
mods.
the big, yeah, he's got computers. Yeah.
He's got sick mods.
Dude, didn't he buy a Lamborghini that was like his first purchase?
No, I can't imagine you wouldn't have.
What kind of butter did they put on his body to slide him into that thing?
I want to say it was lime green.
Oh,
Butter?
that's all.
No, Lamborghini.
It might have been lime green butter too. Who knows? Can't believe it's not butter.
Sorry, I'm entering REM state over here.
Yeah, guys,
Are we at 2 hours?
We're wrapping this up. We're wrapping it up, and that's about all that I got for tonight, folks. So just to wrap it up,
we're all a bunch of idiots.
Just slam the door on it, you know.
No, I mean be safe out there, everybody. Wrap it up. Now, with that said, we're going to encourage listeners here to go to Swannies.co. and utilize the promo code PullHookGolf25 at checkout for 25% off your entire order. And once again, folks, for Buttsy, myself, Matt Cook, and Brent Grant, that is all, folks. Peace out, everybody. A-Town down.